I often get asked about buying wine as gifts for people when people come into the shop. Now, how much do you spend? What style? What region? Do you get something recognisable like a Barolo, or do you go for something off the wall and off the cuff? Well, all valid ways to go. I'm going to give you some pointers. I mean, as far as how much to spend, well, that's up to you and your little piggy bank. And well, let's face it, how much you like the person you're giving it to. I mean, a little cheap bottle of Chilean Merlot for £7, you know. I always seem to hate on Chilean Merlot. I don't know why there's some, by the way, I do apologise. Any Chilean people or producers, there's some fantastic wines out there. What I mean to say is, any wine done cheaply can be given as a gift. And yes, a lot of people might not realise if you're used to buying wine from a supermarket, but that's not what we're about. Tipsy Wines, we want to give something good. So let's have a look. So here I have a plethora of wines which I think are a little bit iconic, can we say. But if you're going to hand out one of these as a gift, most people will have heard of this type of wine, and it will straight away contain a bit of behind that. It's a good wine. We're going to quickly try to rattle through these, and then we're going to jump over and have a look at some alternative wines, something you can throw out for either one experienced wine drinker who may want something a little different, or if you just fancy going for it and just being a little different. Anyway, these are my whites. One of the easiest ones to go to is go into France and go to Burgundy. Okay, Burgundy, everyone's heard of Burgundy. White Burgundies are always Chardonnay. They're always made with kind of minimal oaking. They're quite easygoing, light and delicate. So they're generally very unoffensive. They're quite a safe bet. Ignore the whole, I don't like Chardonnay. We're talking a different type of Chardonnay here. There's not many people who don't like a nice Burgundy. So, you've got the top Burgundy, you've got the Chablis. Chablis, always good bet. You look at about £28 for this one here. Example of a nice Chablis. Mineral, fresh. People who have heard of that. That's a nice gift. Okay, we're going into Burgundy itself. You've got Meursault, very premium. So if you've got the budget for it, I mean, £58 a bottle, that is a stunning wine. Premium appellation there. Kind of more entry-level Burgundy. You've got Maison-Chanzy Chardonnay here. Brilliant, £25, excellent value, and it really punches high. A brilliant entry into Burgundy there. Then we're looking at Pouilly-Fumé and Sancerre Loire Valley in France, both iconic appellations. Most people have heard of Pouilly-Fumé and most people have heard of Sancerre. Sauvignon Blanc, a great variety, excellent wines, real premium, real nice tree. What we're looking at here, you've got 2130 there. This is an award-winning wine, an excellent producer. And this one, Pascal de Nicolas Vevery, again, award-winning wine, coming in at 3480. Okay, so again, you've got the room to play with. Then you can always look at something like a Riesling. A lot of people love Rieslings. And when you get them, you get something like this one here, coming in at 2870. Premium Riesling, dry, not sweet one, but it's stunning. The bottle's iconic. Why is there no label there? Because they used to put it in the river to keep the wine cool, and the labels came off, so they moved it up there. Interesting fun fact. Anyway, let's switch around and look at the reds. So, onto the reds. Same applies. You can start off something like this. Maison-Chanzy, Burgundy, red. It's going to be a Pinot Noir. People will understand this, have heard of Burgundy, they know it's kind of associated with good quality wines. It's not busting the bank, coming at £25 there. When I say an entry-level Burgundy, I don't mean cheap, there's cheaper ones, but I mean, to get a good Pinot Noir from France, it's got to be of a certain standard. Otherwise, you don't get the earthiness, the kind of tertiary notes that you get, which is what we want from a French Pinot Noir. Okay, so this certainly makes that quality, but it's at a nice entry price point. Because you can go on to something like this, where you've got it's a 2016 Moët St. Denis, and again, Burgundy Pinot Noir, but it's been aged from a prestigious appellation, and you know, you're paying best part of £50, but great for wine collectors. It will age a bit longer as well. So, you know, depends on your budget and where you want to go. We can stay in France and we can go into Bordeaux. Again, Bordeaux, you're giving somebody a gift. We're going to know it's a decent quality wine, but it's a treat. And you can go to something like Margaux, Chateau Margaux. That people have heard of this. They know the region, yeah. So Chateau Soissons in Margaux. Or you can come down to, on the right bank, This is Saint-Emilion by Chateau Trétins. This is a really good value wine, I think. I had this one again the other day. £22. It's a really good drinker. It's a really nice wine. It's a nice gift. For that price point, it's excellent. Or like I say, you can jump up to a more prestigious area in Chateau. Châteauneuf du Pape, we've all heard of this in France, in Rhône. Again, we're coming at different price points, but you're going to struggle to go low. It isn't a cheap wine, or it should not be a cheap wine. If you find something saying it's Châteauneuf du Pape and it's coming under £20, and it's not a good example of a Châteauneuf du Pape, I'm afraid. Here we've got a couple of good ones. This is by Guillaume-Gonnet, excellent producer over there. This one's coming at £38. It's an award-winning wine. It is excellent quality. It is a good Châteauneuf du Pape. This one, again, another award-winning top 100 in the wine merchants this year. Domaine de Panici. It's 2022, and this one's coming a bit more, £46. But again, an excellent gift, and I think if you give that to anybody, they're going to have heard of Châteauneuf du Pape, and it can be a wine that can be aged a lot more, all opened on a nice Sunday dinner, you treat with the family. Barolo, Italy. Okay, Piemonte. It's prestigious wine. It's the king of the wines. It carries the crown well. Okay, again, you shouldn't be really getting cheap Barolos coming under sub £20. A good Barolo that's made well and shows off what Barolo can offer within the Barolo grape, you're going to be looking over £30 minimum, really. This one's £38.90. It's Sali. It's an excellent Barolo. I'm a big fan. I think for the price point, it does really well. And then you've got this one coming at 70. Fonta, can never pronounce this producer. Fontana Fleda, an organic Barolo, stunning, absolutely stunning. But again, depends what your budget is and what the event is and who it's for, obviously, I understand. Amarone, another great gift of a wine. The grapes are aged by leaving them out and dried out after harvesting. They shrivel up, the yield comes down. It's going to be more expensive because the winemaker's getting less out of his grapes. It's rich wine, raisined, luscious, intense. It's an absolute treat. But again, it's one of those wines that most people can't treat themselves to because it always comes in quite pricey. So again, all these wines, I think when you give them to somebody that's heard of it might be a wine that at the price point that they're not comfortable in spending on wine. Let's have a look at some not so common ones. If you want to get the gift and you either want to explain it or you think the person is into wine and they will be able to appreciate it and figure it out themselves. Let's have a look. Okay, now we're going to look at some more unusual wines that, let's face it, we all buy a gift. If you spent a lot of money on something that's can fluctuate in price, you want the person you give it to kind of appreciate it. You kind of go, you've spent a bit more. So sometimes it's hard to want to veer off the Barolos or the white Burgundies and spend higher amounts on more niche wines. And I get that. But coming with that brave step comes unlocking Pandora's box to some wonderful wines. I do think as a gift, you are okay to explain a little bit about that. Either put some notes inside or just explain when you give it a little bit of a nice backstory. We can always help with that. You can start getting wines like this. So you go to Argentina, Mendoza, where we used to having the Malbec. This producer, Wiener Cubs, produces this wonderful wine. It's a wonderful Chardonnay called Vinculum. It is stunning. I mean, it's quite pricey, just under £40. But when you try it, you know why. It is stunning. It's not something we expect from Argentina, especially Mendoza. We're not used to, hearing about Chardonnays coming from there. It's not mainstream, but it's done well. It's amazing. You go to places like Greece. Again, if you go to Greece, you might be used to things like Assyrtiko and things like that. But again, another Chardonnay, a single block Chardonnay from producers Chianti, a stunning wine. Really nice. Coming in, £25. A lovely gift, I believe, anyway. A little bit different. Roussanne. So you're going to Northern Rhone here, and this is a stunning producer called Eric Texier. He's got some cracking wines. This one, it's 100% Roussanne. It's floral, it's aromatic, it's intense. And again, it's a wine where you open it, you take a sip, you're like, wow, it's a different level. Okay. But it might need a little bit of explaining, a little bit of information about it. Again, another award winning, Johnson Robertson, there with 16.5 points. You might want to go for something like a Rioja, a white Rioja, a really understated style of wine, I believe. I love it. Luz Canas, this Venus Vijas, it's an award-winning example, a good quality white Rioja. It gives buttery, nutty, a creamy textured white wine. It's fantastic. $22.50. I think it's excellent value. It's a great gift. A little bit off the wall here. I mean, look at this label. Mad Moser, okay? So this, we are going to Hungary, going to Tokaj. It's a dry Tokaj. It's a ferment grape variety. That's a dry one. It's fresh, it's minerally, it's just kind of, it's almost hard to describe. It's just got this texture to it, and it's just a stunning wine. But again, you give that to somebody, they may think it's just a bit of a fun bottle of something cheap, but it's not. It's a stunning wine from a great producer. But when you're getting into these things, again, you're opening doors to other types of wines, which just you go on and on. Once you start trying these wines, it gives you a bit of confidence to try other ones. Onto the reds. Let's flip over. Okay, reds. Saperavi. Okay, so in Georgia now, this is Georgia's big grape variety for the red wines. A big red Saperavi Reserva. It's a dry red. It's coming at £29, but it's a belter. Oh, the bottle's so thick, it's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, so anyway, interesting. Georgia, birthplace of wine, okay? Bringing something interesting to the table, I think. Okay, a lot of you may not be familiar with Super Tuscans. It's in Tuscany, we've got Bolgheri region, and we started to go off from what the wine rules and regulations were for the region, and we started doing other grape varieties, other than the Sangiovese and the permitted grape varieties, and so they basically got reclassified as Super Tuscans, and they are stunning, and they are big red wines, but with character. So this one here, Pasta di Orma, it's a cracking 2021 Super Tuscan, £29, base of the wine. It's beautiful. An Ice Grenache from Australia, a really stunning producer by Thistledown. They are doing some stunning wines, red and white, multi-award winning. This one, McLaren Vale, single vine, single vineyard, old vine, single vine, old vine, single vineyard, Grenache. It's a belter. It really is. If you like that type of vibrant red wine, it's a bit peppery, not quite as much as your Shiraz. So it's got a kind of a nice smoothness at the end of it, but it's got body. It really has. £28. You know, I think it's excellent value. It's a premium Grenache. We've got Chateau Car here. This is a Lebanese wine. Again, likewise with Georgian wines. You know, the very early years of wine production, they were involved. So this, again, I think as a gift would be really interesting. Not many people get hold of Lebanese wines. It's an excellent version of it. It's, it's a belter. And finally, you could always go into something like this, a sparkling red Shiraz from Coonawarra, a well-recognised region in Australia for doing excellent Shiraz. Crown cap, lightly sparkling, puts a lot of people off when you're thinking of spending £26 on wine, but you're not familiar with sparkling red and you don't really want to chill it. You don't know if it's going to be a waste of money. That's where buying good gifts come in. You know, you be the risk taker. I guarantee you, they'll love it. It's a cracking wine. Great producer, Magella. So yeah, that's just a few. To summarise, buying wine as a gift is an excellent idea. It's something that in this day and age, people don't always have disposable income to warrant spending 20, 30, 40 pounds or more on a bottle of wine for themselves. They have other things that come priority. And wine, at the end of the day, it's drunk, it's gone. It's not like clothing, you can't reuse it. So I do understand. Any budget you have, we will find a wine that's going to be interesting as a gift. Okay. Any information you can bring to the table, it's great. It just means we can be more specific. If we know they like lighter reds, if we know they like big, strong reds, if we know they like rich, creamy whites with lots of oak. If not, we can always play it safe. And there's certain wines which I think are crowd pleasers, and there's certain wines which are a bit more polarizing, a bit like Marmite. So it doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, wine, it's such a wide spectrum. We can really delve in and find a nice gift for people. So whether birthday or come to Christmas, start thinking, you know what? I might get my dad a nice wine this year, something that's going to take him out of his comfort zone, something a little bit different. I see him drinking the same wines all the time. Come let us know. Let's find him his new favourite region. Anyway, until then, enjoy your wine.